Okay, Casey here from the Country Builder. I wanted to share an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity, something that's been working pretty well for me, kind of a side hustle, if you want to call it that. Being in construction, I've always been interested in rentals, and I've had rentals in the past, but the newest thing, I'm sure you've all heard about it, is Airbnb. And I've been playing around with Airbnb on the host side for the last year and a half or so, and honestly it's been going really great for me. So I thought this would be a really cool opportunity to share what's been going really well, what I think you could use if you're interested in using that, and what your expectations could be, let's say that. I think a lot of people can be scared of Airbnb, either on the host or the guest side. I think Airbnb has done an amazing job at having people self-regulate that, right? As the host, as a guest, rating each other. They're very good to work with. I've had to actually speak with Airbnb a few times with minor issues, and they've been great to work with. I think if you have extra space in your house and you need to make, or you want to make a little extra income, using part of that for Airbnb can be a huge opportunity and actually generate quite a bit of income. Obviously, I'm not going to talk on the tax side and making sure you claim your taxes and all that. Talk to your accountant. I'm not an accountant. And talk to your insurance company as well to make sure you're allowed to do this. But you don't need a lot of space for an Airbnb guest. And the great thing about it is that they come and go quickly. So if you set it up and it's not working out, you can get rid of it. Few recommendations that I have if you are going to set up Airbnb. You don't even need a full kitchen. If you give them like a little kitchenette area, excuse me, if you give them a little kitchenette area, they don't even necessarily need a sink if there's a bathroom sink, right? You go to a hotel, you just kind of have something, but they have a coffee maker, maybe a toaster oven, and a microwave. That's really great. Looking in your area for other Airbnb units in competition, that's going to be a key part to how much money you can make. You can obviously rent out parts of your house that they have access to, that they have shared access to. Personally, I like to make separate units. I've even worked some deals where I lease apartments and then sublease them on Airbnb, and the landlord knows what we're doing, and it's great. I pay him more, so he makes a little bit more. I maintain the unit. We make some money. It's win-win-win for everybody. So you can rent out part of your house. You can make a separate unit, which I prefer to do. If you do the separate unit, it's always nice if you can separate the sound, especially if you have kids like myself. The guests that come for separate units, you might get longer term rentals, which is great. So maybe you get them for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, depending on where you are. It's going to be gravy. I'm making way more money on Airbnb rentals than I ever did in having a rental unit that was long-term, like a year lease or something, or longer sort of thing. And there's actually less headaches and less maintenance to do because you're going through the unit every time. So you charge a cleaning fee, you send in the cleaner, and everything is just maintained regularly, and you're always looking at the unit. So I could probably talk about this for a long time, but if you do have any specific questions, please send them my way. I'm happy to share my experience. I think Airbnb is a phenomenal company, and they're doing a really good job, and I think it's something that if you have the extra space as home ownership, I know mortgages can be expensive sometimes, or unexpected things happen. I think Airbnb is a great way to cover some of those additional costs, or just make some extra money so that you can take that extra vacation you're thinking of doing. So.
This is Brian, and you are watching The Conscious Builder. Every Wednesday we post a new Ask KCG episode. If you have a question, make sure to share it on social media using the hashtag AskKCG, and we may select it for a future episode. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Last week we visited Chris Magwood at the Endeavour Center, where he gave us a tour of his campus and his off-site renovation, which his students are working on. We also interviewed a couple of students, and we are also working on a 100-year-old home. We are building a backyard addition, and we're going to be sharing some videos of that project shortly. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.